Hello everyone, it's Naomi Meredith here again for another episode of the STEMTech Co-Show, and today we are going to be talking about the best robots as of now to get for your STEM classroom, or if you're wanting to do any STEM-based activities with robots in your classroom. So I'm going to give my suggestions based on experiences with kids. I don't receive any commission for doing this post. This is just based off of what has worked well for kids and in the classroom and for various projects. I really like using things that I can use over and over again. So there are lots of different robots out there and lots of other options. So just really be mindful of that. Sometimes robots can be a little bit pricey. However, the ones I'm going to be suggesting, they are in a great price range, but you do get what you pay for. So when you're thinking about how many kids are going to be using these materials in your classroom, sometimes paying a little bit more can be a great option. And if you can't afford that right now for your classroom, I highly recommend getting grants, and we can do another episode about that. But grants are a great option to get STEM supplies for your classroom, especially now. So many grants out there really support STEM education and wanting to get these types of things into kids' hands. So don't let the price point limit you at all. So I'm going to go in order. It's not in any specific order, but I will definitely talk about why they're my favorites and why they will be a great fit for your classroom. So the first guy, he is so cute, and they have these cute little voices. They remind me of the aliens in Toy Story. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, but they're really cute. This guy is named Dash, and he is from Wonder Workshop, and you can see in the picture that he has some wheels on the bottom that allow him to move around. The head does move also, and there are different accessories that you can add on. You really don't need any of the accessories. If you're in the regular classroom, you're definitely fine just getting this guy. This is a device needed robot, so you do need an external device to code Dash. Typically you want to use the iPad for it and the different apps that it comes with. So the apps can allow you to draw a path that the robot can follow, and then eventually to that coding. And the coding that Dash uses is some block coding. So the kids drag the blocks from the side, drag the commands, those blocks, and then Dash will read those commands. They've also come out with programs where you can actually code Dash with a Chromebook. There are some extensions with that. So just make sure that you have the devices that are compatible with Dash before purchasing, because then he's so cute and he can't move. But he's really amazing. Definitely, I mean, you could use it for any age. Definitely I would start with 2nd grade through 6th grade is a good age range for this type of robot. Great for not beginner coders, but more intermediate after that. Dash's little sibling is Dot, and there are green versions. The colors don't really matter. Dot doesn't move, but Dot and Dash can talk to each other. The coding, you can do the block coding, actually the same app that you use with Dash. So again, you do need a device to code Dot, but it is a little more simple with some of the other apps. So this would be great for the 1st and 2nd grade age, and then you could always upgrade and get Dash. This one I don't use as much in my STEM classroom just because Dot doesn't move, but the coding is still valuable. So it's a great starting point. It's nice to have both so they can interact. Dot is a little bit cheaper. However, like I said, Dot doesn't move. There are creativity packs that you can have different accessories for Dot and different challenges. So super fun in that way. But if you want something that is more interactive, I would suggest getting Dash for your classroom. For the really beginner coders, we have the BeeBot. And so BeeBot doesn't need an external device to code with. So you notice that there are little buttons on top. And so once you turn the BeeBot on, you code the BeeBot using the arrows. So when you press the different arrows in a certain pattern, the BeeBot will remember it and follow those commands. You can't see it in the picture, but there's a little clear button, an X, so you can clear out all the commands and start over. So the BeeBot is great. There are BeeBots also, which is the next level up, which I probably would end up buying, that do use devices. So you have the buttons on top, but then you can also code it with a device, which I think would be really beneficial in a classroom because you have multiple outlets to use this robot. I love the BeeBots. I use them kindergarten through second grade, like half of second grade, because they are so hands-on and it's just like very tactile where the kids can press the buttons and they know exactly what's going on. So this guy is great. They are super, super durable. I would suggest getting the Hive. It comes in a little Hive that they charge in if you're using this with kids over and over again. Now, the other guy that is almost the same exact type of coding is the Code and Go mouse. Very, very, very affordable. However, if you're using this, like if you're teaching K through 5 STEM, I would not buy these because they will wear out. If you are just teaching your own class and you just want this for a station, like with your 25 kids, get the Code and Go mouse. Or if you have your own children at home, get the Code and Go mouse. Like I said, same exact thing. You don't need a device to code it. It's the same type of coding. They just aren't as durable after amount of time. I've had more issues with these just with a lot of kids. I haven't had issues with the BeeBots. Code and Go mouse, also you have to put batteries inside. I think it's like AA or AAA, I can't remember. And then the BeeBots charge on their own. So, but this is great if this is like all you can afford. You want this type of coding, definitely get it. It's great, and you can see what you can do with that, and then you can always upgrade later. There are many different variations of Sphero, so this is just one of many. You might have seen the Sphero minis, and they're tiny. I always tell kids if they want to do Sphero coding at home to get the minis. Those are also more affordable. So again, if you're a classroom teacher and you want to try, get those minis. They do go up in price point. And they just are a little more durable again and bigger. The type of coding, you can eventually do some more advanced coding with Sphero, but again, it can also do the block coding, and there's different apps again with that. So you do need an external device with Sphero to code Sphero, and then all the different free apps that come with it. This one's really great for 3rd grade through 6th grade, just because it does move very quickly, and there are like different types of coding. You can talk about lines and angles, speed and velocity. It does roll like a ball, so it has like different options more so than Dash, where Dash does have wheels, but obviously doesn't roll like a ball. It's more top heavy, so you could do different lessons with that. So this one's really great as the kids are starting to get older, and really, really fun. The kids like it. They move quickly, so be prepared for that. You might have seen these little guys. These are called ozobots. They're very tiny. These are fairly affordable. You can get the ones that you can code with an iPad and it can read things off of it, but you can get the ones where you don't. This is very interesting, the way you code ozobot. If you're not using the device, is you just have markers, and it comes with like markers you draw with, and it reads different patterns that you draw on the paper. So I'll typically use light lined graph paper, and the kids will draw the different codes, and the ozobot follows the line, like the codes that you draw, and it does different actions. So like a certain color pattern that you draw based on its little kit can make it go faster or slower, or make a right turn or jump the line. So this one is really low tech in that way, where you don't need the extra device, but it's nice getting the ozobots that can use the other device, like I told you about the BeeBots, because that way you just have more options and different ways you can go with your lessons, and you could just do more in the future. But super cool. The kids really like it because there isn't any reading involved, so it's great for pre-readers. You could use it with kindergarten. It might get confusing, so they have to understand what the code is, just knowing your kids. You could use it end of kindergarten, but definitely 1st through 3rd grade. These are really successful. They're easy to use. They feel confident just because they are drawing with markers to show the code. They aren't my top favorite, to be honest, but the kids really seem to like it, and a lot of them have them at home too. So these are a great option as well. There are many other robots that actually I didn't mention in this video, but definitely check out, I'll share the resource in the bottom where you can find all of these robots and just different lesson plans that I've used them with. So there are a few others, like I said, I didn't mention, but these are some top ones definitely to get started if you're looking in the market to buy things around the holidays or other times of the year. If you're stocking up your STEM classroom, these are great starter robots. One quick thing, when I do buy robots for my class, I don't buy one for every kid. I buy robots that work for about half of the kids or a third. So if I have a third of the robots per kid, so if I have let's say 24 kids, I have 8 robots. That way I can do stations, or having half is great because then you can have half the class working at a time. But don't feel like you have to go, you're like, whoa, that's a lot of money. It is, but don't feel like every kid needs their own robot, because there's so much value in having the kids pair together, do some paired programming and all of that. But if you're interested in asking me any questions, find me on Instagram. It's at Naomi Meredith _, and then you can find all the resources to these robots, what I use with them, other robots I suggest if you go to naomimeredith.com/robots for STEM, and you can find the whole list there. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next episode.